it's imbalance. It's like what we're talking about. So you need a balance.
The A-list parties turn to B-list parties. B-list turns to C-list. C-list turns to fucking street urchins. You know what I mean? But I remember I've had some fucking funny moments though. Like I remember having a party. It was like a Super Bowl party. Had like 700 or 800 people in my house, and like everybody's like fizzling out. It's now like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. Snoop was there, Mike Epps was there. Different people were hanging out, lingering, chilling, like family people. Not it sounds like friends and shit. And like just knock on my door at like 10 a.m. And it's Pamela Anderson. And that shit was the funniest shit. In my house, living with me at that time was one of my favorite people. And I knew he was up.
This episode is brought to you by.
What's happening, Marlo?
We all do the holidays a little differently. Maybe you and your family go on a baking spree, deliver cookies to the entire neighborhood. Maybe you guys like to rent out a cabin and do a little hunting, or maybe you like to stay.
I had heard through the grapevine that you and John got into it.
This episode is brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Some things like if you're hunting down elk.
I wouldn't say got into it.
My good friend DMX, I read his soul. And Pamela was
I'm
showing up.
just the normal
Check this out.
gay shit.
Normal day at the office.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over the railing of my house and he's like, looks over. Baywatch. And he just walked back away. He walked back in the fucking thing. Okay? X was living with me, man. And like,
What the
fuck? It was like the blind leading the blind. I'm a coke addict. He's a crack addict. And I'm like trying to help him. I'm like, man, you really need to get clean, man. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, you need to go to rehab. I'm like, so I get him, I convince him like to avoid like a jail sentencing for something, a charge he had, whatever. Went to rehab and like getting his shit together. The place that I had gone that didn't really work for me, but I had him there. I really did care about him. I wanted him off that shit, like whatever that was like.
Damn dogs.
Or a faster suicide than I was. And he ran out of the place. I got a call from the place was directly across the street from the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. And he's like, called me. He's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, how are you calling me? You don't have phone privileges like that. He's like, I'm across the street from the rehab at the Hard Rock with one of the nurses. And like, I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I was like, yo, X, cover yourself up. Come back to my house. I'm going to talk to these people and let you back in. And he wouldn't let him back in. It was a real tough motherfucker that owned this place. And he ended up, because it was court ordered, he had to go away. I'm at the Montreal one morning a couple of days later, and my security is like, yo, Doug, there's 50 federal agents here. Woo, like crazy shit, bro. It was like, I couldn't believe it. I felt horrible. And then you flash forward to not so long ago. I was heavily involved in a rehab center in California, Studio City, where we use cannabis for healing. And it came to my attention that he was on his last legs. The X was in bad shape. So I was able to make a meeting happen. My partner, Steve LaBelle, I don't know if you know who Steve LaBelle is, managed Bone Thugs and Harmony, all these people, like, real legend. We were partners on his place, and we had X come in. He had emphysema. He was one rock away from death, like, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we convinced him. We put him on a private plane to Washington to do a detox. He went through the whole detox. His plan was to leave the detox and come to our facility, inpatient, and do rehab. Never made it back on the plane to head back, and we never saw him again. And I was trying to save a man's life, and I really loved him, man. He was such a special guy, but like
such a special performer. Man, there's
one of the greatest ever.
Oh, without a doubt, the power that guy had in his voice. It was amazing. But wild people make wild shit.
And I'm one of them.
Sometimes you can't control it.
Can't calculate.
Yeah, I mean, going back to Kinnison, that's what did him, man. I mean, he died in a car accident, but he was falling apart because it was all cocaine and drinking. And the wildest of the wilds all get caught up in that life because you escape yourself.
It's an escape. I was just
The difference between enjoying yourself and an escape is
what, bro, like it comes down like after a while, like that, like getting fucked up, going to sleep, 3 days. The way you feel into that rut, it's no good, bro.
It's like, not good.
It's just no good.
Well, you're closing in on death.
Yeah,
that's the reality.
Yeah,
you do 2 days.
Down.
People don't like to think that, but if you're up for 2 days, you're about 4 days away from death. You keep that up for 4 days, you're gonna die. You'll stroke out. You'll have a heart attack. Something will go wrong. You'll pop. Something will go off. Yeah, I mean you'll get emphysema or you get pneumonia. You get something horrible because your immune system's destroyed. But it's like wild people make wild shit, and do you get a DMX without drugs?
It's like you call it sex, drugs, and rock and roll, rock star shit, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know if you get those people. I don't know if you get Hendrix without acid. I don't know if you get it. I don't know if you get it. I don't know if you get it without heroin. I don't know.
Maybe I'm so lucky because now I finally realize I understand like all the things you're saying about this diet. Like, I get it now, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. And like, I lived it though. I got to experience. The music is still fertile, and like I'm still doing my thing because a lot of those memories.
Oh, bro, you made it through.
Yeah,
you made it through. You made it through. You're alive. You're healthy. You're lucky. You're blessed.
Fucking lucky.
Lucky as shit. And it's just like that's the dance, man. The dance is how much wild do you let in your life. And if you don't let any in, you might be boring as fuck. Yeah. Your art might suck.
I made it out alive.
All my favorite artists are a little off the rails. They always have been. From my favorite writers to my favorite musicians. I mean, so many of my favorite musicians.
Trying to make any trades, Marlo?
I'm creating these players right now. Why, you seen somebody on my team you like?
I'm trying to just dump a couple. I'm trying to just dump a couple players that I'm gonna lose.
Oh yeah.
Figured I could give you somebody on the low.
It's not like you could just be an organized drug addict. Some people just have less of it.
The crazy part is I don't even need nothing. I got the 6 pick.
Yeah, it takes over.
But I'm excellent at every position.
You live in that wild life. There's no one telling you to stop. There's no one telling you to slow down. You have all the money in the world.
6'5", 250.
What are you creating this year?
Straight hand, Reggie White, Warren Sapp, Tony Gonzalez, Shannon Sharp.
All linebackers and tight ends.
D lineman and tight end. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm told I'm one of the only guys who can play like music and smoke weed at the same time.
I like it.
Oh fuck, this nigga ain't even okay.
You gonna do Michael Thomas or no?
Michael Thomas. What position is that?
He at the end.
No, just straight hand and Reggie White.
Oh, okay. No, Michael Thomas played for the Chiefs. He's known as the best, one
Derek
of the best
Thomas.
pass rushers. Or Derek Thomas, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
What am I saying?
Derek Thomas. Yeah, he passed away in that car accident. That's crazy.
But Reggie's the truth now.
Yeah.
They never made one better.
The Vizio picks who it is. I just make him.
Charles Robin.
Divizio picks the stats?
He picks what players.
Oh, okay.
To create. And I go off the, if you go on YouTube, it'll give you a build, a way to build the player. So I kind of
Yeah, you gave me Randy Moss. There's just one thing that I think you fucked up about him.
What?
He had no spectacular catch when I got him. I had to build all that up.
Yeah, it should have been all like 84.
I don't think it was. I think it was 79.
Nah. Because the reason why is the things that's easy to build up, I let those be like 84 or it could be 75. It depends on how much other shit I put him good at. Like he might
Yeah.
have 99 change out direction, 99 speed. So I know the traits that's easy to build up. You know what I'm saying? So I try to
Yeah.
make those low because certain shit, Randy
But
Moss got to have
how'd you?
99 jump.
He got 99 jump and
Yeah,
96 speed.
yeah.
Unfortunately, had to reschedule it.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. I didn't make him.
Horrible story about me.
I didn't
Oh,
make
you didn't
him.
make?
No, that's why. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. He would have had 98 minimum with me. I didn't make him.
Yeah. When I saw he had
Some of the
96 speed,
players
I'm like, why?
division.
Why did they make him slow?
I
He
don't
should be
know.
up there with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, some of the players Divisio and Tone make. I can kind of tell you the players I make. He wouldn't have been. I made Deion Sanders. I tell you that. I made Bo Jackson, O.J. Simpson. I made Lawrence Taylor. I made a lot of players, but I remember them receivers. They made them.
Oh my God, let me read about this piece of shit. So
Yeah.
that's a horrible thing that
Yeah,
journalists
I got
Remember
do.
that.
Randy though.
They
Yeah.
make these pieces where they completely distort a person's essence, and they only do it
Yeah.
for money.
Divisio and Tone. They
Paid
made
an arm
some
and a
of them.
leg for him, but couldn't
Let's
go
not talk
without him.
about everything I
Yeah.
left my footprint in the fucking world. But
Let's
at any
see, I'm
rate,
trying to
Yeah,
pick a
right.
face
Let's
with
just talk
straight
about the
hand
negative
now.
things, and only from a very distorted perspective. Life is nuanced and it's weird.
I
Life is
might have to get old Reggie. Reggie,
sometimes people make mistakes, but it's not their
we're gonna
whole
see. I don't know.
to
I
try
don't
to
know if my team can afford him.
guess a person down to like tabloid
Yeah.
headlines. Like that's the essence of the person. That's crazy. That's like the least compassionate, the least kind way of looking at human beings. That's not how human beings are. We're complicated. That's why those little hit pieces, they're gross and they don't really work because people know that. They know that there's probably a lot more to this. Like why is this so negative? Like this is not a balanced
yeah, it's just
version
one-sided.
of who that person
Yeah,
is.
Say a little prayer for me for my business. I'm waiting for a couple of big contracts to come through.
Oh
I
yeah, for
need them.
sure.
I've never met one that is.
very
Some good contract.
raw and real.
Working. Damn, this straight hand build is tough.
Is happening now in Dallas.
He's only at 85.
This year's been hard, bro. This is one of the hardest years I've ever been in business.
What you think it is?
Nobody's spending money. Nobody's got money to
Because of
spend.
the economy.
Yeah.
Maybe they
That's
do
right.
CGI, turn you into a kid. You can play yourself. They can do
I didn't want to be involved in production,
That's right.
writing, or acting. I needed to be respected.
We've always done high end homes and rich people, but I would get the average American that saved up 4 or 5, 15 grand and bought a yard. The average American ain't got 4 or 5, 15 grand anymore.
Yeah.
He didn't really say that. Some fucking writer wrote that.
That's a
shit. This
shame.
is not a real conversation.
I spent a lot of time
with somebody.
This guy Dan is.
That's a real shame. Gotta blame the Democrats.
Yeah, everything is gonna be cool. If I have my way,
You got to blame the Democrats.
Well, they're getting rid of them.
All of my music with this kid Jalen, my son, and he's one of my best friends.
It was like when Ice Cube's son played him.
And this kid looks just like me. And at the time I was his age, acts just like me. Perfect. To a point where it's not even normal. So I can't think of anybody better. But we'll get to that. I'm not saying he's going to, but I would love for that to be. And I think anybody could see that this kid's capable.
Yeah.
I was watching this thing on YouTube, and it's like this high up military dude. He was like one of the dudes on the ground over there in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that there is absolutely no reason we took out Saddam Hussein other than we wanted to steal his gold and oil.
And Mike Tyson was, they were friends. They were cool with each other, but
He's like, people don't realize that Saddam Hussein was sitting on like a ridiculous amount of gold.
Yeah.
Very good friend of mine. I'm glad he got through that fight and didn't get hurt. That's what I was hoping he would knock Jake Paul out. Just because.
I'm not surprised at all.
I don't have anything against Jake Paul. I like Jake Paul. I think what he's doing is genius. I think what he's doing is he's making insane amounts of money. He's having a great fucking time. He's a legit boxer. He's absolutely a legit boxer.
Yeah, you can't hate on somebody that works that hard.
You cannot.
I would never hate on you.
No,
I was like, you know what? This guy is fucking really driven. That is, brother. They're like driven. Like it's not at all. Everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so they were YouTubers or they were on Disney Channel. Who cares?
Do it.
But years old, and I was worried. You know, I love that guy, and he was a hero of mine when I was a kid. So to see him, 58 years old fighting, part of me was like, fuck.
Me and him fought a lot of the same demons, and we were there for each other. Like, in a lot of ways. Like, I talked to him, like, pretty deep conversations with, like, he actually checks on me and, good, like, and I do the same.
That's great.
And my friend Rick, like, we're all
Right.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, like,
that's beautiful.
He's a beautiful person.
He really is, man. For a guy who was the most terrifying fighter of all time, he's a really nice guy to be around.
I felt like I was in the fucking movie Hangover one time. Like this. I was hanging out with him in Vegas. I remember we're cruising around in my fucking Bentley Mulsanne at the time, and he's like, let's go jam out. And we went to the Palms, from my hotel to the Palms, and we rented the studio there just so I could play piano. We're jamming out, playing like old records and shit.
Oh, that's awesome.
But just cruising around Vegas, I was like, damn, it's like fucking Hangover.
That's awesome.
Great dude, man.
Vegas is a great example of a place where you have to have balance. Yeah. It's like living in Miami. You live in Vegas, you should probably live in Henderson.
Yeah,
live out there.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, exactly. Live close to the mountains out there. Like, don't be right in the middle of all that. Yeah. Attack it from the outside. That's what I did in LA. When I lived in LA, I lived like an hour outside LA. I never lived. I did when I first moved there, and it slowly started moving further and further away. So I got about an hour.
I am not comfortable in LA anymore. I used to be.
It's crazy.
I sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
I sold my house. I got rid of that fucking place in the valley. It was just home invasions everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like what they've done.
You got an air fryer?
Nah, I need to get one.
I never thought it would go that
Oh,
bad.
bro, you got to get one.
That's what everybody says.
Bizarre. Yeah, I always say that it's like a girl that used to date. She was really cute.
This motherfucker cooks wings, cooks pizza, anything you want to heat up. It does it better than the microwave.
Well, the pandemic was the reason why the government was able to fuck up that city. The pandemic was that was their way to fuck up the city.
There were stacks of bricks. Yeah, on the street.
Yeah, stacks of bricks.
Man, these girls asleep. Ain't got no money.
Yeah, that's a weirdo shit. It's crazy.
Yeah, you just throw a whole piece of pizza in there.
I don't like to go
2 minutes later, it comes out like it just came out the oven.
Villains out there that are pulling the strings of the world. That's real. Those fucking protests are organized, man. People spend a lot of money to organize those things and then put bricks out. The whole thing was designed to disrupt society. And then the defund the police bullshit, how anybody bought into that is so crazy. Reform the police, yeah. Train the police better, yeah. But defund them? Are you
just all
crazy? Yeah. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you not know the law of the jungle? Do you not know the real streets?
Let me know when your house gets robbed. You want to? Yeah. It should be. You're not gonna get a cop. Like, it's not common now.
I have had so many friends that completely flipped a 180 after they got robbed. 180. They're Trump supporters now. It's cool.
Yeah, I got an $80,000 job I'm trying to win right now. I want that motherfucker because it's going to set off a chain of events after that's worth like close to $500,000.
You arrest these people, let them out, and then they just do it again, and they get arrested like.
I'm praying I get that.
Get it, man. I definitely hope you get it for sure. Cortez King
got attacked. Just got by some guy who had been. See if you can find us. He got robbed by some guy who had been arrested some insane amount of times since 2023. I was looking at the story online. I was like, this is so crazy that this person just keeps getting out and keeps robbing people and then just robbed the assistant to the DA. Alvin Bragg. R.O.R.L. Suspected gang member accused of exposing himself, robbing Manhattan district. Exposing himself. He pulled his dick out and he robbed him. Exposing himself is funny because they have go to the headline. Exposing himself is first. The robbing part, that's second. But he showed him his penis. That is unbelievable. That's how I roll. Brandon Samosa confronted the 38-year-old victim in the hallway of her building on West 44th Street around 2 a.m. Authorities say he grabbed the victim's purse, cell phone, and bank card before exposing himself. He pulled his dick out after he robbed her. He robbed her first, but they put it exposing himself for the most horrible thing that he did. Police were able to track the phone and eventually arrested near a hotel on West 45th Street, 8th Avenue on Tuesday, leading authorities to believe the suspect is a migrant. Possession of drugs. No, they know who the guy is, Jamie. They caught the guy. He's been, see if you can find a more updated version of it, because he was arrested a ton of times since 2023. Exposing himself makes more sense now that it's a lady. I thought, was that Jamie? Oh, okay, right there. He's been arrested 6 times in the last 5 months for similar crimes. 6 times. Wouldn't you think after 5 times you go, hey, maybe this guy's a real criminal? We might need to lock him up. Maybe we need to put him in jail. Maybe he's a real criminal. Nope, keep him out there. Jesus Christ. That's the world we're living in now, and that's LA, and that's New York, and that's a lot of places that got fucked up by incompetent people. I don't know. I just feel safer. I was like a phone.
I feel safer knowing that Trump is in office.
I do too.
I feel great about it. Like that's just like
what I don't feel safer is right now they're launching missiles into Russia. Yeah. How do you? How are you allowed to do that when you're on the way out? Like the people don't want you to be there anymore. This should be like some sort of a pause for like significant actions that could potentially start World War III. Maybe that would be a good thing that we would like to avoid from a dying former president. The whole thing is nuts.
I mean, look, I don't know shit about politics.
Zelensky says Putin is terrified. Fuck you, man. Fuck you people. You fucking people are about to start World War III.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Russia fired a missile today. They fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time ever. It's the first time one of those has ever been used.
It's insanity.
It's fucking insanity because those intercontinental ballistic missiles can have nukes on them. This one didn't, but if it does, the whole world changes, and it changes because of the military-industrial complex, and it changes because of the money that's going to Ukraine, and it changes because the outgoing president or whoever the fuck is actually running the country has decided to do something fucking insane. Fucking insane. And we're all sitting there watching it, and people are cheering it on. CNN was saying, like, finally. See what their headline was about Zelensky about Biden giving Zelensky the ability to use long-range missiles. U.S. made long-range. It's not like nobody knows where they came from. It's not like nobody knows we've been funding this. It's a proxy war. The whole thing is fucking insane. It's insane. Come to the negotiation table. Sit down. Work this out. Stop killing everybody. U.S. allows Ukraine to use long-range missiles. So what did they say? Someone had said that, like, CNN was saying that it was a good thing, which I think is how? How has the left gone so far crazy that they think it's a good thing to launch missiles? That's what's scary about life is like you don't want to pay attention to that shit. You just want to live your life. You want to just be carefree and have fun and do the thing that you're passionate about. And meanwhile, the world is burning. And you can't do anything about it. At that high level, it's like there's nothing. Well, we can. We voted Trump in. And his idea is to stop all this shit, and hopefully he can do that. Yeah. But, you know, man, fuck. It's scary.
I feel like none of the fucking problems between the Ukraine and Russia would have been exacerbated as far as they went had Trump been in office.
I'd like to think that.
I believe he has a way of keeping in a certain way. And
well, as soon as he got elected, the Taliban said, let's form a truce. You know, Hamas is saying, let's cease fire. Everybody was saying these things like right away. China was saying, we'd like to do business with America. Russia was saying that. Like, let's fucking calm everybody down. Stop being so fucking tribal. You're so crazy that you think that everything the left is doing is right because you're on the left. This is insanity. And for anybody that's a left-wing progressive, progressive person to think that somehow or another missiles are a good thing. God damn it. God damn it, you people are out of your fucking minds. It's never the answer. This is craziness. Especially with Russia. God damn.
Yep. But anyway.
That's the shit that keeps me up at night, man.
Oh, I know.
When I get paranoid late at night when everyone's asleep, that's the thing that gets me. World War. The war just, because it's happened before, man. The world has been at peace before, and then all of a sudden chaos. And to think that that can never happen again, you're wrong. It's happening right now. It's just not happening here, and we don't feel it here, so doesn't affect our thinking process, and we support things that could lead to it happening here, and we don't even realize we're doing it while we're doing it.
As a human being, like, wouldn't you think that keeping yourself as the rest of the population of the world safe is a priority?
Number one.
It's a priority.
That's number one.
And peace.
And by the way, everybody wants peace. Everybody wants their children to be happy. Everybody wants to be well-fed and healthy. Everybody wants that. Just figure out a way to balance it all out.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We got 60 more days until Trump gets in or whatever it is. How many days is it, Jimmy? But who knows? Maybe once it gets in, they'll ramp it up. Who knows? Maybe they'll sabotage his administration. That's what's even more scary. People don't want him in power. And the people that are in power don't want to leave power, and they'll try every way they can to keep it. 60 days from today. All right. 60 days.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah. Just hope Putin understands what's going on as well, and Zelensky doesn't do anything stupid. But saying that Putin's terrified. God damn it.
It's like you're trying to, like, tug the tail of a fucking sleeping
dragon. Yeah. Also, Zelensky, can I get a drug test? Can we just get one drug test before we send you any more money? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing my blow over there? Like, this is like blow-like behavior.
I'm not responsible for him. I wouldn't care.
But you know what I'm saying? This is like cocaine-like behavior. Putin's fucking scared, man.
Yeah.
Putin's terrified.
Jacked up.
We got him, man. We got him. Like, what are you talking about? He has nuclear missiles, you fucking monkeys. Jesus Christ.
It's my chance right now.
Jesus Christ.
Cause destruction.
Yeah, Putin should not have invaded Ukraine. Yes, 100%. But don't start World War III. Like, there's got to be a way to settle this. There must be.
I got to put some of this into my music. Like, these feelings and even the conversations that happen.
One of my favorite anti-war songs is Ghetto Boys. Fuck a War.
Yeah.
Bushwick Bill. Willie D told me he wrote that in 40 minutes.
I like Ghetto Boys. I
love Ghetto Boys.
Storytellers. Like,
yes.
Like Polo, Cool G Rap.
Oh, yeah, man.
And that era.
Cock blocking.
Yeah.
Fucking
they were the best storytellers.
Oh, my God.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Cool G.
Dale Street Blues. Yeah. No, I love Cool G Rap.
I'm on the verge of committing murder. It's like a whole fucking plot.
He had a great flow, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a great flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cool G Rap was awesome.
Hip-hop's different these days.
I heard he's like someone told me he's a devout religious man now.
Really?
See if that's true. I always wondered what happened to that dude. That was a guy that I felt like didn't get his due, like, on the world stage. Like, people don't respect him for as good as he really was. Because I would tell, like, some young guys about Coochie Rap. They don't even know who he is. And I play music in the green room. You ever hear the Brand New Heavies? Like the jazz band when they linked up with a bunch of rappers? The Heavy Rhyme Experience. You ever heard that album? Coochie Rap's Death Threat is the best track on that. Yeah. I played that shit in the green room of the mothership, and I was like, what is this, man?
Saying some shit.
Yes, he's saying some shit, and it's with the Brand New Heavies playing the music. Fucking tremendous.
Jazz.
Tremendous. They did a great thing with Gangstar, too.
Yep.
They have a great song with Gangstar, too, that's on that. Yeah. I love...
That's where I entered into my passion and love for hip-hop in that era.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite eras. Nas, you know, Illmatic, Godson.
That's like almost like Sgt. Pepper's and rap.
Yeah.
Illmatic.
Yeah, man. Oh my God, how old was he when he made that? Real young.
One Love.
Yeah.
Genius.
How about Rewind?
Yeah.
Rewind is one of the most genius rap songs of all time. It tells a story backwards.
Yeah, insane.
And it's genius. And it's it's fun and it's the flow's great.
Mind melting shit.
I think Nas is my all-time favorite lyricist. It's like Nas, and then everybody else is like. I mean, I love them all, but like to me, Nas is a special lyricist. Like his lyrics are special. Like he's got so many moments where you're listening to me, you're like like just
the whole subject matter.
Oh,
the way he describes,
the way he hits things.
To paint a picture.
He paints a picture, but where he chooses his words. Like we were listening to Get Down last night. Oh my God, God damn, that's good.
The word choice. M is to me like one of the really like the greats of that.
Oh, for
saying
sure.
things in a different amount of syllables or words that you wouldn't expect. Just real creative shit.
Yeah.
I love Jadakiss and Styles P. I think Jadakiss is like in my tops. DMX.
My workout music is Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh yeah,
that's my workout music. Gravel pit when you hit in the bag, you know. And whenever we do shows, we have like a ritual. Like when we're driving to the arena, especially if we're getting a police escort, which is the craziest shit of all time. You're going to do a show and you got a police escort, and we always listen to Protect Your Neck. Like, oh, we got to play it. Like, okay, here we go. Let's go. Protect your neck. Let's go. We're on our way to the arena. And then once we get in the door, I'm your boogeyman. Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Boogeyman.
I'm your boogeyman. Yeah, like just to get everything going. Like, let's go.
Casey. You mentioned his name. I have to do it. I see him at the Hit Factory in Miami one time. Wow, so Casey and the Sunshine. He's like, I saw your MTV Cribs, and I'm just gonna tell you that I spend more on my flowers and my orchids than you probably do on your cars every month. It was just like, what the fuck?
Wow, what a weird flex.
What a weird flex. So it's like, okay, cool.
I think you're wasting money. You said flowers are gonna die, right? And I got a Bugatti, so to each his own.
Bizarre quotes.
That doesn't even make any sense. You're getting robbed. Okay, you're getting robbed. Your florist is a piece of shit.
Hey, everybody's got their own thing.
I know, but you're getting robbed. If you're spending that much money on your flowers, you are getting fucking robbed, sir.
All right, bro. Holla at me.
All right.
That's a crazy flex. It's also a weird way to introduce yourself to somebody. But isn't that one of those things where you used to be on top and you want to show everybody you're still on top? Just like you were talking about, like wearing the diamonds, the jewelry. Go up to the guy who's hot right now and say, "Yeah, I saw your MTV Cribs, but guess what? My flowers. Yeah, I spent more money on dirt."
Dude, I've seen some crazy shit in my life. I've had some crazy fucking moments where a fucking poor boy came from nothing and rose to like a place where it's like I've seen life every side. I've seen life as a poor boy, seen life as making it, made it, blew it, this, that. I've seen like I remember doing in St. Forest. I had been invited on the boat of pretty successful, very wealthy Russian people that I know, and sitting there chilling, doing my normal like just hanging thing. I see a battleship pull up, the actual like fucking army or navy, whatever fuck boat pull up near us. Somebody gets off the tender, gets on the boat I'm on. It was Gaddafi's son.
Whoa.
Yeah. Like what the fuck? This is surreal.
What year was this? Was Gaddafi still alive?
Yeah, I don't know. 2008.
Okay. Yeah. So he's probably still alive. Yeah.
And he was telling me how his country was becoming much more like open-minded and normal and this and that. And I had a keyboard, like jamming out, playing and shit. I'm just such a fucking weirdo. I was like playing Hava Nagila. Like I'm just like a weirdo, dude. I was like, but I've seen some shit, man. I've seen fucking craziest.
It's a great American story.
Okay.
That's the great American story, you know? Like coming from nothing, chasing your dream, making your dream, fucking up your life along the way, but still alive to tell the story. You know?
See fucking BMF out in the
club
all the time. Like be in the club and I was like, yo, these guys over there, they just sent you $25. Okay, who are they?
Chilling like a mug, working on these players for this
Like,
draft.
okay, cool. Thank you guys. Like, cool shit to me every time I see them.
Weird.
Yeah, I never had any drama. I never had any like crazy situations happen because I think in terms of like I was providing opportunity for a lot of other people like trying to
Yeah.
make it like rappers from the streets like so people were just always cool with me. I was respected.
Did you ever have a communication with that guy who called you the White Devil?
No,
That was it?
no.
You haven't talked to him after?
I knew what I had to do. I had to like.
Oh no, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I love being around those people.
It's a terrible way to think.
Yeah.
It's such a terrible way to think that someone just because of the color of their skin, even though they work with you and you're cool together, that you could just out that person.
Yeah.
The other side of these doors over like
Of course.
game time, it's like, okay, so what? Whatever, but it just hurt my feelings because it was my past.
Right.
I thought and like I guess I felt like felt fucked up and I was like, you know what?
Yeah. Nah, it's all good, man. And I be understanding shit like that. I don't really take shit personal.
Right, but that doesn't sell headlines, buddy. The White Devil sells headlines. The White Devil gets people feeling better about themselves.
I moved to LA and started working trade camp. And I felt so much love and
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
I was made to feel like what I was bringing to the table, and like, they were like identifying that shit as like crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, game recognizes game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what it is. When people see you and they hear you, and they know they see like
That's a bit.
what's going on. Okay,
Alright.
interesting for a long time, Scott.
I let a lot of people down, man. When I got into trouble, got crazy. Look, try to hang in there with me, like, come on, bro. Like, at some point, we gotta like stop that. You know, like,
Yeah. Well,
that's my point.
when you disappoint people that you respect,
94.
that's like that's a real emotional rock bottom. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes people need that to course correct. If everything's going great, you have no reason to stop doing blow and partying all night. If everything's perfect. And you know, there's a lot of people that will enable you to keep that life going because they're feeding off of you.
Misery loves company.
There's that, but then there's also people that like all they want to do is keep you happy because they make a living off of you, and so they don't want to rock the boat.
Right. So they don't care, like, you're destroying yourself. But the truth is, there's two different modes. There's the guy that can make music and smokes his weed and fucking eat pizza and just like a normal guy. And then when I flip to that other thing, cocaine is not a drug you can really make. I feel like good music on. It may seem good when you're making it.
Right.
Listen to the next thing because the emotions, it's a whirlwind of emotions that you feel when you're in that world. Like you really feel like happiness, sadness, this, that, the other, like all these things, all within 10 minutes. You could have all these emotions and it's so good. So how are you going to stay on something that you want to make people feel a certain way?
Right. So that's, I mean, I've never done coke, but everybody that I know does coke says you can't perform on it. It fucks you up. You don't feel right. You know.
No, because you're feeling 20 different emotions inside of your head. And it's like, you can only think about one thing when you're on it. That's it. So,
yeah, there's no real good.
Not recommended for anybody.
I don't know anybody who's got like a great coke story. No, maybe one night. But most coke stories lead to my life fell apart.
No happy ending.
No. You know, there's no like coke advocates.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of marijuana advocates. They'll tell you that marijuana changed my life. Marijuana made me more compassionate because marijuana made me a kinder person, more sensitive, you know, more into community, more into love. Nobody says that. There's no cocaine fixed my life. My life was kind of a mess, and I started doing blow. And then, man, it all just came together. You know, I realized that's what I need. I think I'm a little imbalanced. I just need cocaine every day.
I remember being so perplexed. I don't like throwing people under the bus, so I won't say who it is. But one of the most massive people in the world of technology younger computer guys that became extremely famous, like people that started Facebooks and this and that, all that type of shit. Like one of those guys. I'm not gonna say who, but this one was fucking so huge. I went to visit him with some friends of mine, sitting at the table, whacking it up, and he was telling me that he just had a heart attack a couple of nights before, and he started talking about how cocaine is one of the most poorly publicized drugs in the world. I was like, even being under the influence, it's like, this is frightening. This was one of those guys, like one of the big, like, changed the world kind of people.
So he was telling you he just had a heart attack, but cocaine is awesome.
Yeah.
And he's super smart.
Yeah.
Which is even scarier because you can convince yourself
the whole
that you're
world
right.
knows who this guy is. Wow. Whole world. But yeah. I've had many situations where people so selfishly, even knowing recovering or recovered, whatever the fuck you want to call it, want to like have the opportunity to sum it up over your side. Like, I always wanted to do a bump with you. Like, yeah, man, but no. Can't do that, bro.
When was the last time you did one?
Shit, I mean, I've fallen within the past 6 months. But, you know, I got good people around me now.
That's good.
And, like, the shame, guilt, and everything just prevents you from enjoying that and thinking, like, even thinking about doing it. Like, you can't.
That's good. That's good. Hey, man, 6 months is great.
Yeah.
6 days is great. The whole thing is just, you're going to fall. And if you fall, get up. Get up. It's okay. You're a human being. Human beings fuck up. They make mistakes.
Yeah.
Especially when you're dealing with something like addiction. And most people think, that can never be me. That can never be. I'm not like that. Yeah, it could definitely be you.
There's things that trigger it, and, like, it's usually pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not, it is, like, you have no intention whatsoever of doing something, and all of a sudden, it's right there in front of you. Fucking baby girl, and there's a pile of this. You had, like,
you're like, look, I've done it before, and I could just do it this one time.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Yeah, it won't be okay. 3 days later, you're looking out the window like,
bloodshot eyes, like you have pink eyes. Yeah.
But too much going on now, man.
That's gotta be in the movie.
With my single, with like my album.
Well, it seems like you're in a good place. That's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it's I think it's so important for people like you to tell your story raw and unedited like you do. Because people want to see a person that's been very successful and want to have this rosy view of what their life is like.
People love to like build you up, but they love tearing you down.
Oh yeah.
It becomes like that. And then for me, like in my business, it's such a desperate business. If people know I'm of sound mind and like at the top of my game and I'm making fucking fire ass music, that's a threat for certain people.
Of course.
So they'll block it, like, and they'll perpetuate the rumors and do whatever the fuck to make sure that I don't get behind. They're like a goalie for the artists. Like, so many huge artists, they don't want me to get with them because they know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make better shit.
People don't like when someone's talented, and they don't like when someone's successful because everybody compares themselves to other people. That's the real problem. Is comparison is the thief of joy. Is that Thoreau? Is that what it was? Is that it? Thomas Jefferson? Yeah, Thoreau is most men lead lives of quiet desperation. But comparison is the thief of joy. That's a real thing, man. And if you're a person that's looking at someone else's success and somehow or another wanting to diminish that, you're doing it to yourself. Whether you realize it or not, you are wasting your own precious life energy on hating on a person. And that will take away your gift. It'll take away your creativity. It'll take away your ability to be present. Because they're fools. That's why they do it in the first place.
Job security.
It's a foolish venture. And even if it works, you're doing yourself into because you know you're a piece of shit. You know that you've done that to a person. You know you've distorted who that person is just because you want to feel better about your own life. You want someone to falter so that you don't feel, when you're comparing yourself to them, you don't feel inadequate. And that's the reason. It's just pettiness. Just human weakness in its one of its grossest forms. And it's not called out enough. You know, it's really it's a disgusting behavior pattern that's bad for humanity.
I genuinely feel joyous that I have happiness for friends or colleagues that have success.
Yeah, you should.
It's inspiring. Like just so many others that just don't like look at it like that.
Because they're selfish. But it's
haters.
But that's a good thing, and you could say that that's selfish in a way, because when you help people and when you're inspired by other people's success and when you enjoy other people's success, you are experiencing a positive thing. And that positive thing is one of the most important aspects of life. Like, to deny yourself that because you can't control your emotions, you can't control your jealousy and your feelings, and to like hate on someone, you're denying yourself an opportunity to feel good. And you can genuinely feel happy for everyone's success and still be successful. It doesn't take away your success at all. It's just a mental trap. And people need to understand that trap. It is insecurity. But it's also a lack of understanding of how your mind works, how the human mind can play little tricks on you and lay traps for you, and how jealousy can rear its ugly head and distort your views.
Fall into certain ways.
Yes. Fall in a certain way.
When I was in the limelight, and now like Team Hilton, and I'm hanging out with certain people. I'm hanging out with like some fucking like spoiled brat, lucky sperm club ass fucking degenerates, and like basically competing with to be the most obnoxious. Sort of like you don't see that happening until like you look back at videos and you know what a chump I was doing that. I was like slowly but surely like turning into that.
Yeah.
Just to be like, I don't know. Just, that's the shit that's fucked up. Like you have to like really always maintain who you really are and like, not get lost in that shit. Live for others and try.
Were we talking about this in the podcast the other day? Or was it a green room conversation? Someone said that personalities are as infectious as diseases. Someone was saying that like energy, like people's energy, is as infectious as diseases. And when you're around someone that has a great personality and very positive, you get infected by that positivity. And when you're around shitheads, like fucking dumbasses who think in a stupid fucking way, you start thinking that way. It's contagious. There's something to it.
You gotta be careful about company.
Oh my God.
This world is so polluted.
It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing is your community, right? Your family, your friends, your community, the people that you associate with. And if you're associating with shitheads, you're gonna have a fucked up experience.
The less people I come in contact with, like I like being home. I like going to nice restaurants, and I like being home. I don't really like going out and fucking. All that energy rubs off my people's karma, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. The anxiety, everything. Although the weirdness of people comparing each other. Who's got the better watch? Who's wearing the nicer shoes?
Over that.
It's stupid. That's good. You're smart. You're wiser.
Yep, it takes time to figure these things out,
but
better late than never.
Yeah, but you still have the art. You still have the desire for the art. Like that through the whole thing.
I lost that passion that we spoke of earlier for a while, and now it's back like
beautiful.
Yeah, I live there.
That's the American success story. And would you rather that than at the height of your fame, the party and the drugs, the fucking chaos, falling apart? It's better to just like embrace the art. That's where like
if it's not real, I don't want to fuck with it.
Right.
Like I'm like not gonna like chase checks to work on music. Like I'm gonna work on what's great, and that's how you fucking do it. Right? Stay in your lane. And do what, Is there any way to play the single I got coming?
Sure.
I haven't. So I'm gonna show you this girl is 21. Is there a picture? You know, a picture. It's like I have a picture. Like the girl is like organic. Like she doesn't need auto tune. She's not like she's real. So this is just an example. to is a girl.
That's amazing.
Always writes that shit. See the conviction. You get a songwriter, a big fancy songwriter, to work with some girl and like teach her how to have emotion. It's not the same.
That's
here she is.
It's a lot of Amy Winehouse vibes.
Yeah, but
Amy Winehouse vibes in that song.
In the fact that it's both organic,
yeah,
different. Like,
no, not different. Not like she's copying anyone, but like that vibe of authenticity. Yeah.
And she's
21.
21.
Damn.
And the emotion is there that comes from.
And she writes all that.
Yeah, she's like,
that's incredible.
That shit is not something like that.
Put that up again, Jamie. Is that available right now? Can I get that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that shit to my Spotify playlist, right? I'm gonna put that on the Green Room playlist right now. On my own.
Yep. That's gonna be the first one. But I'm showcasing her. This is my single, Scott Storch, featuring Adams there. But I'm part of the making of her album, which already has a bunch of stuff that she made on her own, that she made, and then stuff I did with her, and 1217 Records with my partner Kevin. That was
amazing.
She's dope, and I got some great records. I got records with A-list celebrities like that. It's not exciting to play like for me a record with somebody who has sold billions of things of records like for my project. I want to break. I made a habit in my career of breaking artists, and I did Chris Brown's first song, and I told him sitting in the studio I was going to make you hit records in like 15, 16. Wow. Did that. We made runs. I've done a lot of when I came back into the business after my dark period of just not doing anything except doing drugs and lasted 8, 9 years. I met Steve LaBelle and Steve. Not only were we partners on the rehab center, but he was helping me get back into the music thing. I was like, yo, get me a meeting with Jay-Z, get me Beyonce. All the people I made this was like, fuck no. They're not going to want to work with me right now. Show them what you're doing. I'm going to give you the best blueprint.
Some people like to jump gun.
Yeah, it's like this artist. These are all new artists. You don't know who they are, but you make them fire. Everybody's gonna look at you like you're a fucking get the Heisman Trophy again. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
One by one, every single one of those artists that he put me with that were nobody at this point are all huge right now. Trippie Redd, A Boogie, Roddy Ricch, Russ is one of my favorites. Like I love Russ. I don't know what you do with his music. He's just like he's got something to say. He's like he's the man. Like you gotta fuck with Russ. He's really serious artist. I've seen this guy without radio. He has a fan base, a cult fan base. What he does is so real. Without radio or any shit, he's selling out arenas by himself.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I love that that's happened today.
Yeah.
They've kind of taken the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is out of the equation now.
Yeah.
All someone has to do is be good and get it online.
SoundCloud.
Wow. 200 songs in a year?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It just started that consistency.
Yeah.
People became an acquired taste.
So you love watching people make it.
Yeah, I like being responsible for that. It's more of a challenge than just, I'm going to make Drake up it. I really want to work with Drake. But I've been roadblocked with Drake. I know Drake loves me and my production, but for whatever reason, I haven't been able to get it.
I want to get a hold of Drake and talk to him about his fight picks.
Yeah.
That motherfucker loses more money on fights. Always calls on him.
Before it's over, I need to get a record off with him. I want to get a record off with him.
Wasn't John Jones a 600 to 1 favorite?
I mean, well, you had my KO was win, but yeah.
Well, that's what I would have said anyway. I would not have thought John would have. I mean, that's an easy bet.
I want to get a record off with Rihanna too. I had a very uncomfortable meeting with Rihanna and I'm mortified to this day.
Uncomfortable because of the cocaine?
No.
What happened?
She was in a VIP in New York years and years ago, and doing her thing and whatever. And they obviously people know who I am, so they didn't front. And they let me up into her table. This was a greenhouse. of that VIP room was the most mortified, most embarrassing shit I ever fucking felt in my life. I was
she's
like,
cool. I bet she doesn't
I
even remember that.
do that. Like, I didn't mean to
But that's
get
an
her earring.
accident.
I know, but
That's
still,
an accident.
you're that guy in that moment.
Oh no!
You're that guy. So yeah, haunts me.
You mean
If I only didn't hook up with that earring.
You want to make a good impression, you get her ear ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But life is full of surprises.
Yeah. So, it's like your favorite thing seems to be breaking new people. Then, is it because you get to show the world new talent? Does it remind you of you when you were getting your breaks?
You're helping sculpt when somebody's sound is the backbone of what it started, creating something new. And I think that's to me, like, my sound has always been to not have a sound. And like, have like different genetic strains of music. I call them like, it's like the things that I brought to the table that nobody else was doing. And then when people start doing it so much or honored, copying it, and then you move on to the next thing. But like with artists, you get to like concoct some kind of new vibe. I did Beyonce's first solo album, She Made a Sound. We did 3 smashes. I did 3 straight smashes out of 3 songs. One was Baby Boy, Naughty Girl, Me, Myself, and I. And at that point, I had just moved from LA, and like I had been working with Dre for so many years. And I'm looking at Dre, and I'm like, Dre has his empire, and I need to like go off and like create my empire, not competing, doing something different within music, and not using that sound that he and I created and sculpted together. Just like the new wave West Coast music. I moved back to Florida, to Miami, where I hadn't been eons, right? Because I went from Florida as a kid, I lived there until I was 15. I moved to Philly, my dad, and then from Philly to LA. Now I'm going from back, starting my own little world. I'm now rich. Okay, I go home to Florida. I'm rich, and I'm ready to fucking make my own sound and shit, create some shit. Beyonce was one of the first to test it, and we fucking solidified that shit. Made history with that album. Like I remember she did the Grammys, and she thanked God, and then she thanked me first. Like, and I was like, I have it up. I'm like, it was like one of the biggest honors in the world. Like, and like made history. And I was like, that's the ultimate thing that I want to do. I want to do that with ads. Once I get driven like that, there's nothing to stop me.
That's beautiful. Scott, it's been great talking to you, man. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming down here. It's been a lot of fun.
Wow, we did 3 hours already.
It's close, like 2.5 hours now.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can talk, right?
Yeah, man. But you got good stories. You got good story, and you have a good story. Your story's a good story. And like I said, I think it's a great story for people to hear. That's why people like biographies. People like to find out, like, was it easy for you? Why am I struggling? Like, what is the struggle like? Is it the same for everybody? When you're struggling yourself, you think you're alone. And when you have a dream and you don't know if it's going to come true, you go, was everybody like this?
Nothing great comes easy.
Nothing.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, brother. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to hang with you. Appreciate you very much, sir. All right. Bye. This episode is brought to you by Buffalo Trace Distillery. I actually have some Buffalo Trace cigars here they just sent me. One of the world's most award-winning distilleries that's been making whiskey the same way for more than 200 years. Made as a tribute to the rugged, free-spirited pioneers who blazed their own trail to new frontiers, it embodies the perfectly untamed spirit of independence. It defines what an award-winning bourbon should be. Aged nearly twice as long as competitors in new, charred, white oak barrels and bottled 90 proof Buffalo Trace is the perfect bourbon to be enjoyed in any way, anywhere. And the taste, it's damn good. It's bold and sophisticated, yet incredibly smooth, finishing long and deep. It's authentically American, representing uncompromising quality for the rugged, the powerful, and the passionate. Tap the banner to learn more or visit BuffaloTraceDistillery.com. That's BuffaloTraceDistillery.com. Distilled, aged, and bottled by Buffalo Trace Distillery, 90 proof, Franklin County, Kentucky. Buffalo Trace, American, family owned, independent, and perfectly untamed.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Drink by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
But if you want to sort of see like a vision of the future, it's like basically the top 20 and but movies in the top 100 is like totally dominated by China.
Really?
Yeah, there's like China and a little bit of Korea, Taiwan.
So are you in the top 20 in the world? Or the top 20? Wow, in Diablo.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody your handle? No, don't tell them.
Don't
tell them. It's not worth it.
Well, they actually listed me with my actual name in the list.
Oh, did they really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's only 2 Americans in the top 20. The rest, almost everyone is Malaysia.
We were talking about something that I think is a really good one, because people always think that video games are frivolous. But what you were saying, I think that's really important, is
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Drink by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
But if you want to sort of see like a vision of the future, it's like basically the top 20 and but even the top 100 is like totally dominated by China.
Really?
Yeah, there's like China and a little bit of Korea, Taiwan.
So are you in the top 20 in the world, or the top 20? Wow, in Diablo.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody your handle? No, don't tell them.
Don't
tell them. That's not worth it.
Well, they actually listed me with my actual name in the list.
Oh, did they really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's only 2 Americans in the top 20. The rest, almost everyone is Malaysia.
We were talking about something that I think is a really good one, because people always think that video games are frivolous. But what you were saying, I think that's really important, is it's so difficult that it requires you to only think about that, and it can like relieve stress.
Yeah.
It can take out the rest of the world, because it's so hard.
Yeah.
You can only think about that.
Yeah, I mean, if I play a video game on extreme difficulty, then I have to concentrate fully on the game, and it's a calming effect.
Yeah.
Sort of chills down. I mean, you mentioned I think maybe people like if you play martial arts or cool, like something that forces you. It's like I think anything that forces you to concentrate fully actually has a calming effect. I find it just sort of like. Kind of a restoring effect.
Yeah,
it's good.
Jiu-jitsu is like that.
Yeah.
Archery's like that as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're shooting a bow, you have to. There's so many moving things, and you have to think only of it, and it cleans the mind.
It cleans the mind, yeah, exactly.
I was reading a study about surgeons, where they found that surgeons who regularly play video games make less errors.
Well, it's definitely. I mean, games require manual dexterity, so it makes sense.
Completely makes sense.
Actually, if somebody was like ever good video games, I'd say like the surgical skills can be very good, because in order to be good at video games, any kind of fast reaction video games.
Look at this: 32% fewer errors, 24% faster, and scored 26% better overall than their non-player colleagues.
Oh, I believe that.
That's incredible. Well, like that, you should be required in medical school to play video games. Don't you think?
If somebody's like a top-ranked video game player and they say they're a surgeon, I'd be like +1, +2 type of thing.
Oh, top rank for sure. Well, but this isn't even top rank. This is just people who play.
Well, your manual dexterity has to be extremely high.
Yes.
So you're looking at things on a screen, but you're reacting, and there's some like 10 milliseconds to react.
Yeah.
And so if somebody's got incredible reaction times to manual dexterity, they're obviously going to be a good surgeon.
Imagine if there was a course that you could take. That course would promote. You would be 26% better.
Yeah.
Everyone would have to take that course.
Sure.
Why would you want a surgeon that's less prepared? You would say, hey, Bob, did you take this course? You didn't take this course. Don't you understand this course makes you 26% better?
Sure.
You'd have to take it. Everyone should have to play video games if you want to be a surgeon.
Well, I think it'd be so a very good test to see if somebody can't play video games well. Like, because you got to move both hands simultaneously.
Right.
You got to react to something very fast, then on the screen. So, and if your keystrokes or your mouse clicks or whatever are wrong, then you lose the game.
Right.
So, if somebody's like has a good rank in video games, I would say that their manual dexterity must be very extremely good.
Well, it's so
their fine motor
hard.
skills have to.
If you think about like StarCraft or any game like Quake, any game where a lot of people are playing, to rise to the top, you have to be exceptional. Period. Human being.
Yeah.
There has to be something exceptional about you.
Yeah. I actually, Quake, way back in the day, I was one of the world's best Quake players.
I know we talked about this.
Yeah.
I love Quake.
Yeah. I in my final semester in college, I probably put more time to Quake than all my college classes.
When I was on news radio, all of the writers were super nerds. They were very, very fun guys, and they had a LAN set up at the studio where they all played Quake. I had never played video games, and I would go in with the writers, just kind of hang out with them. We'd get silly, and then we would all start playing video games and play Quake against each other. And I got addicted, like hardcore. I had a T1 line installed in my house. I went hardcore.
Yeah, exactly. You're checking how many milliseconds of latency.
Oh yeah, I was fully addicted. I was making my own computers. I was going to Fry's Hardware and buying motherboards and putting everything together. And, it was too much of a time suck, though. I'm an obsessive person. I can't get involved. Like, I can't play golf.
No, golf is too slow for me. I mean, I know a lot of people find golf good. And I mean, I guess if you think of it like this, I guess if you're saying you're going to walk outdoors with friends and occasionally hit a ball, then and as an outdoor walk, then that's cool. And it does require concentration when hitting the ball, but it's too slow for me.
Nothing compares to video games in terms of like the amount of feedback you get, like the sensory overload you get when you're looking at a large, high resolution screen. You have a fast computer. You have headphones on. Then you're hearing sounds from here and sounds behind you, and rockets are flying by you. And there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I think golf still is like Jamie will tell you. Jamie's an addict. He's a golf nut. It's super addictive, and it takes like 8 hours a day.
Once you get into golf, I think for advocating sports, it gets super addictive. But the intensity of video games is quite big.
Yes, and the people dismiss it because they think it's just a waste of time. But we're showing like real world benefits of people play video games.
Yeah.
If you want to be a drone operator, it's the only game in town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good at video games.
Yeah, for sure. So, in fact, I actually tell like what my mental acuity is if I play a very hard video game. So if I try to sort of get like an extremely good clear time at Diablo or something like that, or a first-person shooter, whatever the case may be. Like if I can tell that I'm tired or my brain's not working as well as it should. It's like a mental calibration telling me like how good is your mental state?
Right.
So it's like if you're trying to play really well, like if you play late at night and you're tired, you just play badly.
Right.
And you can say, okay, you may think that your brain is working well, but it isn't.
Yeah.
You play a video game, you're like, you suck. So okay.
Yeah, you're putting it under stress. Yeah. You're really stress testing it.
You stress test it, and because like sometimes like I think it's fine, but then you play a game like okay, I'm not. I'm like 10% below what I should be.
That's how I feel about workouts, for sure. Like, that's how I knew I had COVID. Or I knew everyone in my family had COVID, and I was trying to not get COVID, and so I was working out. I was like, something's up. Like, I felt fine normally, but then during exercise, I was like, okay, I can tell there's something wrong here. So back off, relax.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like people who don't stress test their mind, they think they're operating on the same level all the time. Like, sometimes I come in here and I can't form a fucking sentence, and I don't know what it is. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So it's just
like sleep's not. Maybe like sleep wasn't that good or something.
Something like that, or I'm too busy, and it's not. The words aren't coming out. Like I know how to talk. I can talk professionally, and I can't fucking talk. It's like
sleep is massive. I mean,
huge.
So if I can tell you, did I get good night's sleep or not? If
Listen, life can be busy and hectic and stressful, and your body needs the right nutrients to meet all those needs. Things like sleep and sunlight and exercise all impact how we digest fitness. This episode is
video game for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, my sleep was that good because my and then sometimes your brain will recover through the day, and it's like, okay, like an hour or two after waking up, it's better.
Yeah.
Your brain does kind of recover from that night's sleep a little bit.
Do you know what really helps? Creatine, apparently.
Does it?
Yeah, creatine is actually a nootropic, believe it or not. There's a lot of like benefits to creatine that are really weird.
Are there any downsides?
No, it's a natural part of food. Yeah, especially women. For women, apparently, especially postmenopausal women, it's very beneficial.
Okay.
And there's a lot of like cognitive benefits, and one of the big ones that they found recently is performance when sleep deprived. Mental performance when sleep deprived increases pretty measurably when you supplement with creatine.
Is creatine naturally occurring in like steak or?
Yeah, it's like naturally occurring in meat. I think that's where it's coming from. I think it's primarily an animal-based thing. Yeah, but
like I did switch to like steak and eggs for breakfast, and I found that's like power up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're all overrun with carbohydrates.
Yeah, totally.
And you do, like, carbohydrates make this big crash, the rise and the crash, the rise and the crash. You stay flat if you eat like a primarily high protein, high fat diet.
Yeah.
Your body runs off ketosis. Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, so I just have like steak and eggs, no bread or anything.
Yeah.
And,
it's great.
It's great, actually. It's a power up, I'd say.
People dismiss this whole carnivore diet thing because in our heads, there's a lot of propagandists that put this thing out there that animal agriculture is the #1 contributor to global warming.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's hot bullshit.
It doesn't matter.
Not only is it hot bullshit, but the real problem is factory farming. Regenerative farming is carbon neutral if it doesn't sequester carbon.
The animals are not going to make any difference to global warming. They're not.
No, it's bullshit.
Zero, nothing.
Do you think that that's just propaganda because of people that have a vested interest in like plant-based meat products and things along those lines, green energy?
I think it's part of it. You're generally going to get people pushing to avoid meat. Like some people just, maybe they're natural, maybe they're just like vegetarians, vegans, or whatever. Ideological reasons. But it's not going to make any difference to global warming or the CO2 concentration in the atmosphere. Really, if people eat pure steaks, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I want to be super clear about that.
Yeah.
It will not matter. You will not even be able to measure it. Okay, that's how irrelevant it is.
Isn't it funny that's
unmeasurable?
That's a heretic speaking. Like that's crazy talk now. Nowadays, it's like you have to say that we have to eat less meat. That meat is bad.
Totally, as much meat as you want to start making.
Sing it. Tell the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And if somebody says it does make a difference, I'm like, how will you measure it? And if you can't even measure it, then it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, I want to be able to measure it.
Well, there's so much bullshit out there. First of all,
bullshit in all directions.
Thank you so much for buying Twitter. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm not exaggerating when I think you changed the course of history. I really do. I really think you made a fork in the road. We were headed down a path of censorship and of control of narratives that is unprecedented. Forget about what they were able to do back when they had newspapers and the media under control. What they were doing with social media by suppressing information and when you had a combined government effort, like what they were doing with the laptop story. We have 51 former intelligence agents saying this is Russian disinformation, take it offline, and Twitter complied. If you didn't buy that, we wouldn't have known that. We had no idea.
Exactly. No, it's. I mean, the reason I bought it was because I'm pretty attuned since I was like the most interacted with user on Twitter before the acquisition. So before the acquisition, I had more interactions than then. Like there's some accounts like Obama or whatever had higher follow accounts, but I had the most interactions of any account in the system. So I was very attuned to like if they change the system, I could tell immediately. Like and I'm like something weird is going on here. So there's like I just got increasingly uneasy. And obviously, when they deplatformed the sitting president, not the deplatformed Trump, that was just insane. And the things he was posting, like he was posting things that like he was supposed to good things. He was saying like, hey, do not riot, don't do any destruction of property, please stay calm. Like that's the kind of stuff he was posting.
Yeah.
And you're like, what's wrong with that? And then sort of will say like, oh, that's like some sort of dog whistle. He means the opposite. I'm like, okay, so we'll give you Trump's account. Now you post what you think you should post, because you can post nothing. You can ask people to calm down. Like what? It was insane. Like it didn't make any sense.
Well, it's completely illogical when you say it's dog whistling to tell his followers to not be violent. That's crazy.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Don't you think they'll listen to him?
Yeah.
Isn't that the whole point? They listened to him and created violence in the first place? That's what you think. That's what you're accusing him of.
Right.
And then there's the fact that we know that there was agents in the crowd that were agent provocateurs that were encouraging people to do illegal shit.
Yes.
We know that for a fact. This is not that. It was always the big Alex Jones type tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, because Alex proposed that back at the World Trade Organization protests. I believe we're in Seattle in the 90s. And they sent in agent provocateurs, started smashing things, lighting things on fire. Now all of a sudden the peaceful protest is no longer peaceful.
Right.
They move in the cops. They shut everything down. They had it set up where it was a no protest zone, where you couldn't even have a pin that had the WTO with a red line through it. They wouldn't let you go in through to go to work. So you couldn't protest. You couldn't exercise your First Amendment rights. You couldn't even have a peaceful protest, a fucking sticker on your car. You couldn't have that. It's crazy.
It's crazy. So no, I think we're very much a fork in the road in Destiny, I mean the reason I did the career acquisition was like, hey, if I don't do this, I think we're screwed. Is the issue.
Well, if you didn't do it, no one else was gonna do it because it wasn't a financial winner. It was kind of a crazy move.
It's a crazy move. I mean the thing was way overpriced, like long term, I think we don't ultimately make it a win for investors. But boy, this is a hard way to make a living.
Well, there's also a concerted effort to suppress it. It's a concerted effort with the advertisers.
Well, we had I still have a massive advertising boycott that was organized by a bunch of left-wing NGOs. Like and you always want. And I should have brought my. I have a hat. Make Orwell fiction again.
I've seen that hat.
Yeah, I should have. I was gonna wear I should have brought my Make Orwell fiction hat. Yeah, I mean it's just totally nuts. So
if you didn't do it, no one would have. And here's the hilarious narrative that I keep hearing from idiots. Elon's a bad businessman. Twitter is worth 400% less than when he bought it. No, it wasn't worth that in the first place.
It wasn't worth that in the first place.
It wasn't worth $44 billion. You fucking morons.
Yeah.
Wrong. And also, you're not taking into account the advertiser boycott.
Exactly.
That's total bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So there are these organizations. Like you can tell is they're like when they have an Orwellian name. So like the Center for Countering Digital Hate is a total scam organization. Because they're like the Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
In Orwell. They're a censorship organization.
Yeah.
And they organize and they pushed the advertisers to boycott. So we still have some of the boycott is starting to lift. I think if Trump wins, we'll see probably most of the boycott lift. But if Kamala wins, we'll see that boycott get stronger. And they'll freaking shut down. There's no way that the sort of Kamala regime would allow X to exist.
You really think that they'll be able to shut it down, though? Is there a pathway to that?
Yes.
What would they do?
Well, I mean, they can stick the DOJ on and say they've had this whole thing about hate speech, misinformation, whatever. Except that they're the ones pushing the misinformation. But that doesn't stop them from filing massive lawsuits and using the DOJ. I mean, the DOJ is been attacking SpaceX, for example, for not hiring asylum seekers, even though it is legal for SpaceX to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident of the U.S. So we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. There's just an example of what DOJ can do.
So it's illegal to hire someone who's not an American citizen.
SpaceX is considered an advanced weapons technology. So it's covered by international traffic and arms regulations because we make rocket technology that can be used against the United States. It's like if North Korea or Iran got SpaceX SpaceX rocket technology, they could use that to launch nukes at America.
Right.
That would be bad.
Yeah. That'd be really bad.
That'd be really bad. So we're since we are in like the most extreme category of weapons technology at SpaceX, under U.S. ITAR law, it is illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident, because the presumption is that if they're not a permanent resident, they're going to return to their home country and take the rocket technology with them. So it's illegal for us to hire anyone who's not either has not a permanent. They can have a green card or be a citizen. They just have to be a permanent resident of the United States. Then there's another law that says if you discriminate against asylum seekers, that's also you're also breaking the law. So the DOJ can only do a small number of big lawsuits every year. Launched a giant lawsuit against SpaceX, saying that SpaceX discriminated against asylum seekers, and we're like, but it's illegal for us to hire anyone who's not a permanent resident. So we're in this like, this is what I mean. It's like Orwell saying, like, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. So you're damned.
Can you imagine history looking back at when you watch the robot arms catch the rocket and you realize like this is like one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of aerospace. Like it is one of the most wildest accomplishments. Yeah. When you watch that thing come and you see all those people cheering and it catches it perfectly, like holy shit. Imagine how history is going to look back at the DOJ going after that company.
Yeah.
How insane it is.
Big lawsuit with an army of lawyers. Like this was not like some minor thing.
But it doesn't even make any sense logically. Like how can it even get brought to court if it's illegal?
That's exactly. So that's what I mean. Like basically, if the government wants to go after you, they'll just find a reason. There's like that famous quote from Beria. Like Stalin's like chief torturer, the head of Stalin's secret police, and he's like chief torturer, truly evil human being. Like this guy Beria. His one of his famous quotes was, "Show me the man, and I'll show you the crime."
Right.
They decide that you're the target, and then they figure out the crime afterwards. That's the issue. They decided SpaceX was the target. They just figured out the crime afterwards.
Which is so crazy because that's exactly what they're saying Trump is going to do if he gets into office.
They're doing all the things that they accuse Trump of doing.
Yeah. Openly. Yeah.
I mean, the sheer number of hoaxes that the Democratic Party is pushing over and over again. And it's like, look, I understand like politicians are gonna, exaggerate. They're gonna misspeak, and they'll tell occasional, untruths. Whatever. That's how it is in politics. But when you have deliberate, concerted, repeated pushing of hoaxes, you're like, wait a second, like, come on, man, this is too far.
And you're supposed to be the good guys.
You're supposed to be, and you claim to be the good guys? I'm like, exactly.
You're supposed to be the progressives.
Yes, the Dems are like, oh, we're the good guys. We're the honest people. No, hang on. You can't claim to be the good guys. You can't claim to be the honest people. If you're deliberately pushing hoaxes that have been debunked thoroughly.
Yeah.
Well, we're like even Snopes, which is a liberal thing, says it's bogus.
Yeah.
Like the fine people hoax.
Obama just said that on stage.
Obama just said that. Like, what the flying fuck?
He doesn't give a fuck. They're just
That's a flat out goddamn fucking lie.
Flat out lie.
Flat out fucking lie.
How about the other one where Kamala's campaign used what Trump was saying about protecting women and from illegal immigrants? Remember that? What he was saying, if the women like it or not, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
When he was saying that, they were trying to say that he was taking away women's right to choose whether women like it or not. Like that's not what he was saying.
Absolutely.
He was literally talking about protecting them from dangerous people that are sneaking in through the border.
Yes, exactly. But they'll take like not even a full sentence, like a half a sentence from
yes,
and then they'll push it on every ad, every speaking event,
and it gets repeated on the news.
Yes.
This is what's crazy. They'll talk about it on these news shows. Quote news shows.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a recent one that came up, which had a lot of people, because a lot of people reached out to me, was like, oh, Trump says he wants to execute Liz Cheney. I'm like, what he said at all? It's not what he said at all. All he said was like what he's saying is that actually have to fight at the front lines should think twice about going to war.
Exactly.
That like it's easy to go to war. It's easy to be a warmonger if you don't have to risk dying at the front lines. Like basically it's fucked up if people are having like fancy dinners in Washington D.C. While people are being slaughtered in trenches. You know, it's like you don't feel the pain.
Exactly.
You're not taking the risk. It's someone else dying.
Exactly.
That's cruel and lacking in empathy. And what Trump was saying was that it's like Liz Cheney would be much less of a warmonger, because she's a huge warmonger, just like her dad, if she actually had to go to the front line to fight herself.
And meanwhile, they're saying that he's saying she should be shot.
Yes, which is a total lie. But I had like tons of people calling this weekend saying, "Oh, Trump says he's going to put Liz Cheney in a firing squad." Like, that is an outrageous lie. And legacy media ran with that lie, big time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just wild to see. And if it wasn't for Twitter or X now, I don't think we would know about all this stuff. I think it would be very difficult for you. I think YouTube throttled. They did something weird. They won't say what they did, but they did something weird with the Trump interview that I did.
Yeah.
Where you couldn't find it.
It doesn't make sense.
It made no sense.
I mean, it was like the biggest interview on earth.
Yeah.
And you can't find it?
Yeah. Not only that, it wasn't trending.
Bullshit.
It wasn't trending.
It wasn't trending.
No, it wasn't trending.
You're like, there's just no excuse for that, man.
No excuse.
There's no excuse.
It was getting 1 million views. 1.4 an hour at one point in time? 1.5 an hour.
Yeah.
And it wasn't trending.
Yeah. And it's like your channel is a known channel. It's not like it was started yesterday. It's like
yeah.
It's like yours is a high trust channel. It's like you're not trying to sell scam crypto coins or something.
Well, thank God we put it on X as well.
Yeah.
Because I think just with your account and my account alone, it's like 70 million views.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, it's like you can't hide things anymore because of you. And if it wasn't for you, I think they would have had total control of social media by now.
Yeah.
They banned so many accounts during the pandemic. So many dissenting scientists and doctors and physicians. They banned so many conspiracy theorists. So many people that colored outside the lines. They would have done that everywhere, and it probably would have. I think even at what's going on at Facebook, they're being more lenient. You know, you hear Zuckerberg talking about taking a more libertarian stance. That's entirely reaction to the way Twitter has kind of moved the watermark.
Exactly. So, as soon as any company steps out of line and is willing to actually have the truth debated on their platform, it forces the other platforms to allow things to be more truthful, to not censor, because their censorship becomes glaringly obvious.
Yes. Yes.
And the best thing I found as a rebuttal, like if there's a hoax, is just go to the source material. You know, if somebody thinks Trump said that we should put Liz Cheney in a firing squad, I'm like, let me send you a link to X so you can watch his video. That's the best way.
Yes.
Don't take my opinion for it. Don't take anyone's opinion for it. Go to the source material.
And community notes.
Yes, and community
notes is the best.
It's awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Because everybody gets checked.
Yes, including me.
Yeah.
And with community notes, all the software is open source and all the data is open source. So you can recreate any given note independently.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Total, absolute transparency in every way. Sometimes I get asked like, oh, can you remove a note? Mostly by the left, but sometimes by the right. I'm like, I don't even remove notes on my own account. Nothing. And by the way, everything is totally open. So if I did that, it would stick out like a sore thumb. Immediately. Like, it's not going to be subtle.
That is the best counter to misinformation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, let everybody look at it and say, okay, here's what the actual facts say.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The counter to misinformation is better information.
Not just that, but having it checked in real time by the community. So you have millions of people that can go over it and debate whether or not this is true or that's true.
Yes, and like I said, the best way to understand the truth of things is don't take anyone's opinion for it. Look at the source material. It's like, look at what someone actually said, look at what someone actually did, look at the real videos of the situation, and then you'll know what's real.
So, as of today, when you were literally on your way here, you sent me this text saying that they're trying to lock you up in jail in Pennsylvania. Tell me what the fuck is happening.
Well, there's the classic sort of Soros DS. So we're making a lot of progress in Pennsylvania. So, I've given a whole bunch of talks in spent 3 years in Pennsylvania. I went to college in Philadelphia, so so it's not like I'm not a total stranger to the state. I spent 3 years there, um, and we've organized this petition in support of the Constitution, which I think is a good thing, and specifically asking people to, and we wanted this to be like registered voters in swing states. Like basically, we want to send a message to the politicians to say that the people care about the Constitution, because there've been all these attacks on the Constitution. They've been, especially on the Democrat side, they've been repeatedly saying that the First Amendment is an obstacle. And they're saying, oh, the First Amendment is enabling disinformation, misinformation. And I'm like, yo, there's a reason for the First Amendment. Like freedom of speech. The reason they found out the country put, the freedom of speech status, because they came from countries where if you spoke your mind, you would get shot or imprisoned. That's why the First Amendment exists.
Man, where is my?
And
When did this open up, man?
Stop the tyranny of government.
Open my shit up, man, so I can accept my shit on my niggas.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, let me even sign my comment. This nigga cold.
You don't have to be a McAllister to know that the holidays are prime time for crime. But these days, the wet bandits have all gone digital, stealing your bank logins and credit cards over unsecured Wi-Fi is so easy, even Harry and Marv could do it. That's why you've got to protect yourself with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your online traffic through encrypted servers, keeping your data safe on any network, whether you're sprinting through an airport or just home alone. Anyone trying to hack their way in will get hit harder than a paint can to the face. ExpressVPN also keeps your browsing history truly private. Even if you use incognito mode, third parties like data brokers keep track of every website you visit. With ExpressVPN, no third parties, not even your internet provider, can monitor or log your online activity. Just tap one button to connect, and when the app turns from red to green, you're clean. Rated #1 by top tech reviewers like CNET and The Verge, ExpressVPN is the digital security system you need this holiday season. Right now, you can take advantage of ExpressVPN's Black Friday Cyber Monday offer to get the absolute best VPN deal you'll find all year. Use my special link, expressvpn.com/Rogan, to get 4 extra months with the 12-month plan or 6 extra months with the 24-month plan totally free. That's expressvpn.com/Rogan to get an extra 4 or even 6 months of ExpressVPN for free.
And I've had these debates, especially with people in LA, because they're like, want to take everyone's guns away. And I'm like, yo, can you guarantee me that we will never have a tyrannical government in the United States? Can you make that guarantee? They're like, well, nobody can make that guarantee.
It's time to move on, Damon.
That sounds crazy for people to hear, because they think about gun violence and gun problems and gun this and gun that, but that's the reality of the world that we live in, is that tyranny is possible, and it exists other places, and it's slowly existing. It's slowly rearing its head in the UK. You're seeing, I think the number of people that have been arrested for just social media posts is bananas. It's in the thousands.
Yes, several thousand people have been given prison sentences in the UK.